Hello, everybody. Fear My Games, you're back with another Total War Rome 2 episode. I think we're in what, number 80 now, I think? Somewhere around there. I'm pretty sure I'm getting pretty close. I do apologize if the webcam looks a bit weird. I pressed a button on my webcam settings trying to fine tune it, and then suddenly it got a lot different. I'll figure it out later. I wanted to get this video recorded. We are back on Linux. I figured out the problem with Rome 2 that was causing me so much issues. Well, not so much issues, but the frames were really low, is the best way of putting it. It was like locked at 60 FPS, and I was like, why is that? And I noticed Windows had a bit more of a variety. It's usually like 90 to 130, so depending on how intense it could be higher or it could be lower. But for some reason, Linux is always locked at 20 FPS. But then I did some research and I found out it's because Rome 2 is so poorly optimized that on my 16 core processor that it is like I don't know what to do with so many cores. What if I just don't work properly? Which is basically what happened. um, and so what I ended up doing is um, basically the thing I did is I found out that if I limit the amount of cores, it works. And instantly I went from 60 FPS to 120 FPS plus. So I was like, yeah, great job. um, so I figured let's record the video, even with the weird webcam, because it's working nicely. It's looking all pretty. Um, got put, and so I've like most people recommend like 2 cores being locked to. Technically, it's 2 plus 2 multi-threads, so it's like the computer calls it 4 CPUs. But in reality, it's like 2 cores plus 2 multi-threads, really, something like that. I tested between that one and using 4 cores or 8 total CPUs, um, and I found no difference between using only 2 and using 4. So I just put out 4, but if it starts having issues, I'm going to limit it back down to 2. Which leaves the remainder of my 16 core CPU to do some CPU encoding, which I'm hoping will do a nice increase of quality for you guys as you're watching. It definitely puts my poor GPU through its paces, but otherwise, I think we're just fine. So we're getting in it. We're attacking Athens as a pretty weak garrison. We're probably still going to lose some guys because we are assaulting a walled settlement. But we do have allies in the Rhodos. So technically, if I think I mentioned this last episode, I think I made the final cut, where it's just like if I wait, the Romans will not move, and then they'll be attacked. Though there's more of an army now. Originally, it was just one ship, so they probably didn't prioritize it very much. But now it's actually a full fleet. So bit of a different situation. Okay, oops, did a thing. I think attacking. I want to make sure we can make full use of our siege tower, so I'm just kind of deciding what stretch of wall looks the best. I'm thinking this stretch of wall looks the best. I don't want my hoplites being the ones who man the towers. The reason that being is that they're better in hoplite formation. They can't really do that in the they can't exactly do that when when they're on a wall. So we're gonna use our spearmen and our axemen as well as these cell swords. And we're gonna make use of these guys to actually like be the beachhead to take the walls. We'll use our hoplites to kind of help the back a little bit. Our cav though aren't really in a position to do very much, so I'm gonna keep my cav and war elephants. You're kind of in the back over here nearish the gate. And hopefully what I'm going to be able to do with them is I'll hopefully be able to brain. Hopefully I'll be able to, like, you know, take uh, the walls and let them in through the gate, and I think that'll be nice. Yeah, that's everybody. Leaving only really Cav there is fine. Um, yeah, look, I think it's as close as we're gonna get. Yeah, of course, I believe the way it's set up is that the defenders can see where you move stuff, but not the attackers. So we don't know what the defenders are doing behind their pesky walls. We can see our arrows. Our arrows aren't going to be too crazy effective, considering, you know, these guys are behind the wall with shields up. But the benefit of these guys is that if they can at least elite kill, you know, a couple of them, that'll be amazing value for us. It'll make it easier to take the walls the weaker the enemy is. Because some guys are going to be easier to hit than others, because like if these guys are actually would be hitting the flank if they get shot at, compared to like some of the other guys who it's, you know, completely covered by the shield. Like if I was this guy hunched over like this, shield up, I'd feel pretty confident that I'm going to live. You know, except that guy who keeps like sticking his head up for some reason. He's a bit of a dumbass. uh, you know, be that as it may, I at least respect his efforts. The battle is turning in our favor. So it looks like we actually have some land reinforcements here. I didn't realize that. These guys are going up to a gate that seems to be undefended, but they can't capture from the outside. I think in Rome 2 they did have the torch mechanic that's like an ineffective way to damage things. Yeah, but these are the ships. These are all transport ships. So this is an army on the move using the boats. So these guys, I'm pretty sure, are the cool ones. You can't see their token, right? Yeah, I don't think I can. That's fine. Oh, our guys are up on the wall. We've actually broke archers. Well, I don't know. I was about to say archers broken some guys, but then I realized part of that is part of that is archers, I guess. But part of it, I think, is also, you know, the fact that our guys have broken the walls, and they're like, "We're a professional army. You may want to run," and they're like, "Yeah, we may want to run." Yeah, these axemen, you know, they're gonna do their best, supposedly. And now the subtle swords, you know, on the ladders are starting to catch up here. They might get shot in the back, considering like that. Look how much arrows are sticking out of the ladder. It's not so promising for a Boy Scout, but let me see. Like look at that. Looks like they're not doing so bad anymore. I think it was just like initially their focus. Maybe they got a little bit smarter about what they focus on. I don't know, but you know, those guys are definitely breaking up, which is good for us. But yeah, and if for these guys, my ideal situation would be is I can take these guys over here to take the gatehouse. If these guys can go down here to against those Italian swordsmen, and then we can get the last group who I honestly forgot to advance forward and try to get them up on the walls. That'd be great. Well, these guys are trying to get up, and they're actually breaking. What's the reason for breaking? Just formation breached. Outnumbered, outgunned, outskilled by our Greek might. But we are the liberators of Greece. We are the Bosphorus kingdom. You guys are only medium melee infantry, but you're very heavy spears. I think I'm going to send these guys down here, but I'm going to send these guys over there. Our axemen are doing their best here, but these guys are actually doing a pretty decent job. And they're heavier guys, so they are going to win in the end if we don't do something. One of our units aren't where they're supposed to be, and that's causing some issues. I think it's you. So I try to order you guys over there. Let's see how you interpret this order. Yeah, its combat's still considered even, actually. Maybe because, like, these guys' stats are just better, but, well, these guys are, like, a heavier unit. That's my only guess. These guys are also experienced, so that helps. You guys, though, I'm ordering you to attack. Why aren't you attacking? Are you a traitor to this nation? So if you are found to be a traitor, I will smite thee. To be honest, I completely forgot to check over here, make sure they weren't attacking my general. So it's honestly just pure luck that my general's not dead right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Pure luck. Spearman going in. Let's see. Let's do this like person view. Right? Can I do it? Or it's got to kind of glitch out in the wall, but you know, we can kind of get a nice cool view of the walls. They're fighting. This is, by the way, is extreme graphics. With the change, I felt confident kind of leaving it at that and recording the video. I think I made a decent. I think it looks pretty good. I might, you know, reduce the intensity of my encoder slightly, because I do notice that my FPS is not as stable as it is without when I'm not recording. So, that is something to fix. Okay, good. They cleared up this area. So if we can get you guys down over here, and you guys over here as well. I can take these guys. I don't remember, and I'm just going to order them up on the wall. We'll get you guys up at some point. We've neutralized the gate, which means if we do go in here, I think it would allow us just to come in. The baggage train actually shouldn't be over here, so that should not be coming in. Baggage train is specifically for other things. The enemy is actually trying to shoot at us. It looks like it's these guys. Not sure, but our spearmen are outnumbered right now. So that is a concern. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to send guys to system down below. But I probably should have sent somebody up on the walls too. So I'm going to take these guys. I'm going to order them over here to help. Now they're starting to win. They do have the advantage of experience in there on their side. So experience, the weight class, armor is probably better too. So that's probably why it's pretty even. But they also are winded versus someone who's only active, which means they're not at full strength. So if these guys can, you know, make their way mosey on over to help, that'd be great because they're fresh still. I don't know if they'll be able to actually gauge the melee properly, but we'll see. To be honest, I should have paid better attention to the fact that these guys are being attacked by Cav. Especially when the Cav is outnumbered. And I have a unit of spearmen right here. We need to listen to my orders when I tell them to move. Move, boys, move. Why are you going in? I mean, I understand you're spearmen, so you want to kill the Cav. Before we kill the Cav, I would like to encircle him and make sure he pays. Yep, it's something where our guys are slowly losing out, but help is on the way. There we go. We now have this unit surrounded. There we go. That's going to kill them. Those guys dead. I can now march on the gates. I do have to be careful though, because the enemy does have units on their way. Load my guys up, though. It's gonna take some time. Archers are still making their way up. Alright, these guys have made it, which is going to allow us a little bit of an easier time here. Let's see, what are these guys? Swordsman, swordsman. No cav. The only cav is over here. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave one of you guys over here. Buy some time. The longer this fight goes on over here, my guys will start winning it. Yep. They charged each other, which admittedly is not always the best decision when it comes to Spearman versus Cav, but you know, I figured it was a worthwhile endeavor, and I think I'm right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these guys over here, and I'm going to go for the old surround and pound over here. It looks like the reinforcements over here did allow my guys to break through. I'm using these guys to kind of damage the wall, the gates, but I think it's fine. I was worried I was going to lose that area, so I was like, I might as well just start destroying the gates, but now I'm actually winning that area, and so it doesn't look quite as appetizing of an idea. Oh, excuse me. If we could send these guys to flank. Send these guys over here to handle the enemy cav I see on the way. So yeah, the hoplites are still trying to make their way over and forming up. So this is where my hoplites are at their weakest right now. Is, you know, just the fact that they are not fully, you know, fully deployed. Might still be able to get with Fearmy and a phalanx, though. And it looks like I was able to get away with it, which is nice. We have our archers up on the wall, which means that so long as we hold this advantage, they will rain fire from above, which is definitely not a bad thing for us. In this game, do they have a mounting? Yeah, they do have dismounting. So it looks like we now have the gates. So I should be able to just punch right through. So I thought. But apparently not. The gate may be open visually, but our minds have yet to be set free. I guess I'm just going to send these guys over to this capture point, because I don't see any more enemies over here. They're all focused now on Rhodes. See over here, Rhodes is doing a bit of a piecemeal battle over here, but that's a phalanx unit against some, you know, have Italian swordsmen and some local archers, it looks like, with more reinforcements coming. So I don't anticipate much problems for them. I would say we've pretty much gotten rid of the enemy here. Army losses is actually going to probably give us the victory right here. There we go. We had victory against the Romans. See there. So now that we have victory of the Romans, we shall free the brain short-circuiting apparently on the word. We'll free Athens, we'll liberate it, so that way they can be a free peoples of Greece once again. They'll be eternally grateful to us. I think we should be able to open up trade with them. And we don't have to worry about the fact that we would only hold part of a province. I hate owning only part of a province. Yeah, our spearmen here who did a lot of the level work up on the wall, got pretty abused here. These guys, I'm pretty sure, were the ones that got charged by the cav, I think. Or at least they're the ones who are fighting that battle against the Italian swordsmen, where it's like pretty close. I think that's why they lost a few bit. You have been defeated, and I shall press the liberate. I have liberated Athens. They are now my besties.
Greetings, honored guest.
I would like you to join. Okay, what if I made you just made you clients? They would actually accept me being my client state. I'm doing that. Why not?
My people will fight.
Why not? You know, is Sparta that willing to too?
I am honored to
Well,
receive
no,
you.
no, they have a
I
bit
look
more
forward to your
pride. They have a bit
erudite
more
arguments
pride.
and witty quips.
So they're willing to be my friends, but they can't even
Greetings,
trade with me.
friend. Greetings.
What happens if I just
With
offer
that
them
wine,
money? Like, what if
fine
I just said,
knowledge,
I'll offer
warm
you so much
agreement.
money, will you be my best friend? No, they would never accept such deal. That's fine. I'm not worried about it. Um, Pretty sure you wouldn't become a client state yet, right? Yeah, just making sure. You're such a good friend. Now you've taken settlements that I want, like in Korea, but I'm too nice to kill you for it. And now with Athens liberated, we can now take this army and turn it westward. Hopefully, the newly freed Sparta, newly freed Athens will be able to keep themselves alive long enough to make a difference. But we will see. We will see. But yeah, what's nice about that is what that's taken means one less border we really have to worry about. You know, admittedly, the only concern being is if Rome just comes back in with the full stack when I'm not paying attention and just kills them and wipes the floor with them, you know, that'd be a bit of an awkward thing. But it looks like our allies currently own the seas around Greece. You know, Knossos has a large. I'm pretty sure. Is this an army or is this an actual navy? I think this is actually an army because that guy says general. Uh, so they have a 20 stack on the way somewhere. Pergamon actually has a navy here, 14 stack navy, which is bigger than the Romans. Kind of keeping them bottled in over here. And this is another army, 16 stack army. I'm not sure where they're going to plan on going, but, you know, hopefully everything goes well for them. Down here, this border hasn't moved in a while, so I don't really know what Egypt is doing. You know, they could be doing more. You know, they could be doing more, but, you know, what can you do? Let's see. This is an admiral, but it looks like he has suffering some problems. He's buying kind of by his lonesome. So it's kind of like it looks like we're kind of doing the most on the land battle, but the end our allies are at least nearby. So I'm gonna use this army. I'm just gonna kind of auto resolve this battle over here. Never mind, they ran like the cowards they are. I'm gonna try and attack those guys over here. The king might be in a situation where it could theoretically hold on its own. I don't know what the garrison looks like, but the only reason the brave companions haven't moved is just enemy and can go here from here to here to here, and we can come to here. And of course, we had a problem there. Honestly, once we get this army in a decent amount of states, because if we can keep recruiting more Zenoi into this army, maybe replace some of these guys, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. But like merge these guys, I think, for now. Disband this one. Recruit some Alpine infantry. Merge these guys. Get some more assault infantry. This army here. The Roman impersonators on the way north to Galinos. Kind of, I think this is kind of hugging the edge of the map here, because I'm pretty sure like this fog here, I'm pretty sure is like the end of the world, because like I can't expand any more northward here into the I'm pretty sure this is into Russia because like outside of the terms of this game. How is this army coming along over here? Looks like this army will be ready in probably 4 turns. Let's see, it has the cav I want, the spears I want. It looks like I need more hoplites. But I don't have enough rich people blood, I think is what that is supposed to basically be, to fully populate them. So if we get closer, like 1 turn away and we don't have enough population, I'm just going to just say screw it and get like something weaker. Let's see. We do have a battle we can fight out here in Apollonia. Another garrison armored garrison fleet against a nice superior army of ours. Very elite force. The Odysseus's Wanderers. Not enough navy to think in Odysseus's Wanderers personally, but you know, whatever you say, game, whatever you say. Water. I'm assuming they're gonna prioritize coming more towards us than it's going towards them. But we do have the cav advantage here, so making use of this area is going to be our best interest because it does provide us with so many, like so much more maneuverability. I'm going to send these guys kind of way over here. I like to hide them, but I don't really think there's a good place to hide both of you guys. Oh, there we go. We found a place to hide both of them. Yeah, it was easier than I thought it would be. And let's get the archers in position. The objective here, kill thine enemy. Which is really our enemy, so make sure they're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one guy. Who am I missing? I think it's this group here. Take the hoplite, and then we'll take the Bosphor and spears. I think would be a good flank over here and here. Take these guys more over on the flanks. We'll take our general's bodyguard. With another cav unit, we're going to kind of place them over here a little bit. I'm not really worried about having them so far behind. They're like not even a fact, you know, well, they're hidden. I'm just more of a, I want the possibility available to me where I can say, screw you, haha. Lock that formation. Alright, men. Do you think these Romans will come out and fight us? Or do you think they'll be there and like cowards? What do you see, men? I think they could see movement from where they are. I think it's what, Alt HK? Just wait till you see the whites in their eyes. It's stab them. Stab them dead, lights. This is a very cursed view. Oh, the enemy does actually have some cav. I didn't realize that. But send them over here. They're taking a lot of damage, which is going to really hurt their charge a bit. Actually, yeah, looks like they're breaking before they even make contact, which is good. Looks like the enemy's actually going to be parking their Marines over here, so we'll just need to make sure we keep an eye out on that as best we can. I'm going to start migrating these guys over here. They'll probably prompt a change in the enemy over here, but it's not too bad. Enemy, missile just getting obliterated by a hail of arrows. You can see the amount of arrows just on the ground. The guys, we're here to defend our homes, but that's a lot of arrows. We weren't ready for this. And then they ran. Then they ran. I mean, very understandable. This is a... They're hopelessly outclassed. And now our archers are actually trying to hit some guy with some shields, so you're not seeing quite as immediate of effect. But, you know, our guys are pretty beefy, so they can take a couple of javelin throws. Especially if those javelins hit those shields more than the actual guy's, you know, important bits. Okay, the Romans, be like, we got projectiles too, just not as long range. And archers showing why we pay to have them with us. We can send the general in here. Looks like it's not allowing us to attack while they're not disembarked enough. I hate when that happens. These guys deserve death just as much as anybody else. Let's see what's going on over here now. They're still hidden and walking. I think I'm good to start running them. The enemy's kind of has committed now. It does look like the enemy's kind of committing more on this particular flank here. Understandable considering how strong we are, but you know, I think it's still a little bit rude. I'm gonna send my elephant in here. My cat just went through the cat door of the upstairs, and it was just as like, oh my god, what was that sound? It was the cat. It was the cat. That is the answer. The archer's trying to like slam fire in there. They're doing their best, but there is only so much they can do. There we go. So, let's see. And now they're starting to hit some hoplites. The elephants are going in. Just trying to be careful not to kill too many of my own men or elephants with this. Just finish them off, buddy. They'll die in pretty quickly at that point. In the meantime, the entire enemy army is just collapsing right now. Alright, I'll get you guys in this fight if I can, if you'll make it in time. Yeah, but you're probably gonna break pretty quickly. You got three enemy. You have some horses attacking you. You have the guys you originally were attacking, or that I forgot if I ordered them to attack actually first. But, you know, it's all around. They're having a bad day. Basically, the long and short of it. My general's really good on the charge, but you know, he could be doing better at the brain. At the act of murdering these guys over here. that's what I wanted to say, but I wanted a better way of saying it. And they're about to break after that rear charge. And now the enemy is starting to lose, I think, break due to just pure army losses at this point. And victory is ours. We officially driven Rome out of Greece. With this conquest, the elephants 227 kills, archers respectable amounts. Everyone else got like a smattering of respectable, but the real standout in this fight was definitely those elephants crushing those Romans underfoot. Thinking Rome was there, Greece was theirs. I would say they didn't think Rome was theirs. Rome is theirs for now. Eventually, it'll be ours. Just have to get through this rather long loading screen. Don't mind us. Any minute now, we'll get through this cutscene so we can show that we've conquered this province. Is now fully ours. Nobody else can lay claim to it but us. Because we are the greatest kingdom in the world. I can't say empire because we're not an empire. We are a kingdom. We could liberate it, but no. This is ours. This is our land. We've conquered the area of Alexander the Great. For our people. Food is not a bad thing to get here. Consider this our first area over here between Greece and, I feel like a roleplay sense. It would make sense to make this a good trading hub here. So I think that's what I'm going to do. For the roleplay. More than anything else. So now Apollonia is ours. Can't quite grab those guys. We could actually bring this army here and squish them between them. Let's just do that. Casually. Let's enslave these fools. I'm pretty sure they're raiding our lands, so they give it as comeuppance for what they've done. Let's make this a fully unique army. We have no hoplites in this army. Hopefully none of you guys are designed for spears particularly, because this is a very sword-heavy army. We've got some spear stuff, but at least we have some spear units, right? That'll benefit. I mean, I'm curious where this 20 stack of Roman troops are going to be going. Looks like this 13 stack over here retreated. It looks like, based on the way its face is, running back over to Rome. I definitely wouldn't mind bringing this army here to attack Taurus. And, getting our first foothold into the boot of Italy. While our other armies kind of focus on going to the north and down, these guys will come from the south. Cutting off Syracuse, and if we go to Syracuse, we will make sure to liberate it in respect for its ancient Greek history. Just tell them to be careful about festivals in the future. And I think we'll be good. So we're going to do the insurance sequence here before we end out the episode. Apparently, a character has an unassigned skill. Not the character I thought it was going to be, but a character all the same. So I want... See if you have what I want. But you're not a bad one, but not what I was technically wanting, but let's see. There we go. That works. I do like food, so definitely won't complain about that. You're governor. I'm gonna deploy you while I'm here. And now we can end turn. This is the first time we've ended turn in many episodes, I think, since, with positive food, because for quite a while we've had negative food, so we'll see how things pan out in the future. Changing of the seasons, a rebellion we have to put down. I don't want to give you military access.
Whatever bounty he offers.
But I'm thinking I'll take it. Here's what I said, take it, because I do want to attack Saba at some point. But it'd be easier. Ooh. this is a decently strong looking force they got here. I think the Roman impersonators can take it. Apparently the game doesn't, though. Apparently the game thinks these guys are too good for us. Well, we're going to show the game that we are amazing. But a quick save in case of crash in the future, and also in case I forget to save in the future. But I think that's a great time to end this episode, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, night, evening, wherever you guys may be. I'll see you next time.